Hello drone video fans, my name is Bill, and this 7-minute video shows offline waypoints done with the Autel EVO. First thing I do is launch the offline Google Maps, and which I created and saved earlier, and we're kind of zooming in here and waiting for me to show up on the map, indicating that the phone is GPS has located me, and there we show up. So after that shows up, the next step is to launch the Autel app, Explorer app, and you can see we've got 100% transmitter and power. Drop down the secondary bar of information so that I can watch the number of GPS satellites that are there. You can see we only have 7 right now, so I'll wait for it to come up to about 12 or 13 satellites before I attempt to take off. We had set this up offline, and now we have 13 GPS birds here, so we're starting up the motors, and we're going to hold down the auto takeoff button so that it does an auto takeoff. Basically the flight path that we made, and you'll see it coming up here once we get to that, is just going to be to circle around this abandoned driving range. I'm going to take it up here a little bit higher, make sure that it's stable, and then tap where it says GPS there so that we can get into the intelligent flight modes. Tap on Waypoint, and then up in the upper right next to the voltage you can see the waypoint and those 3 bars there. That's for bringing up the extra information. So we'll tap on those 3 bars, and you can see the ones that I saved there. This is one called driving range. I just drew a circle, and it created all of those waypoints automatically. Then I set them all to 160 feet altitude and the maximum speed of 15 miles per hour. I hit start. It uploaded the Waypoint program to the EVO, and here you can see we're climbing up to the 160 feet altitude that I had predetermined was going to be high enough to miss all these trees. Now you can see the screen of the app in the lower right hand corner, and the video from the EVO in the rest of the picture. So the first thing that I noticed is that as the EVO comes to each waypoint, it stops for 2 or 3 seconds, and I would probably prefer it to just continue flying on, but that's something that maybe they will offer as an option in a future update. You can see that it's moving along here. I tap the other screen so I can view the full mission and see where we were at. So I'm going to continue with the waypoints. There were when I drew that circle around this abandoned driving range, and it created 10 waypoints, and you can see which waypoint and I'm coming up on in the little inset there, but I had forgotten how many I created and where exactly I was at. So every so often I tap on that little inset there to swap pictures between what I was shooting and the actual waypoint mission itself, which is kind of helpful to let you see where you're at. The EVO, when it comes to a waypoint, if you change altitudes, it doesn't do it on the fly. It sort of stops, it changes altitude either up or down, and then continues onward. It doesn't do it in one smooth motion. Here we brought up that mission map again just so I can see where we're at, and again it stops for 2 or 3 seconds and then continues on. We're coming up here to complete the mission. As I said, there was 10 waypoints created, and I kind of lost track once I get back to the home point. But seems to be working good. I was very pleased with how well it was following the course that I had laid out. And then we're closing in on the takeoff location. We hit another waypoint here, and it stops for a couple of seconds, and you can kind of see my car and the landing mat there. It's at this point here where we're going to start to tilt the gimbal down. Actually, I had left. I had 2 more waypoints to fly, and I thought that was the last one. So once we get to this one here, I tilt the gimbal down, and I wanted to turn the Evo back in the direction in which it took off, but there was still one more waypoint to fly to, and so we took our hands off the controls and let the Evo take over. It went to the last waypoint, and then it turned itself to the direction, and you can see that it's giving warning tips there in the screen that it's now landing, and it's going to auto adjust. And I was amazed, as it was coming down, it was doing these adjustments to make sure that it landed right on that map. Here I went out there and moved the carrying case out of the way just to make sure it wouldn't hit the carrying case, but it's going to land right on the button. So I think it was successful, and enjoyed this. I'm going to do a couple more experimental shoots with it, and I'll post those so I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping by and watching, and come back again soon.